chat. Hello to everyone who is coming in and vibing. Thank you for the first ARIA sales. Lovely to see you. Coming in for a first and then going straight off to bed is a real power move. I respect it. Thanks for coming in at all. Hello Notes Unworthy, hello Paginator, hello Cap as well. This is not the usual request stream, this is a practice stream today, so I will be practicing some things. If you are absolutely desperate for a request, then you can see in the title, there's channel point redeems for it, or you can throw subs. There's not technically a limit to how many requests you can ask for, but I do need to get some practice done today, and we will have request streams back at some point, probably on a Tuesday evening at some point in the future. But as the summer gets busy and as we're exploring more and more in terms of like the different things that we're trying to do with the streaming things, then yeah, you might have noticed that the chat has moved and looks a little bit different. We're trying a thing, and the first thing I'm noticing is that you little thing are in the way, darling, so you can't go there anymore because you can't read the chat, but it's fine, you can go here today. There we go. I'm just going to stay there for now. Hello Plusonic, hello. I'm going to get on with some practice. You guys are welcome to go to whatever shenanigans you like in the chat. I am still here, I am practicing. If you're working at home, I hope this is an appropriate soundtrack to your working. I'm going to be working on some of the piano opera repertoire. So Nobuo Uematsu's music has been rearranged yet again in the piano opera format, and I'm just going to have a first look at some of this stuff today. Some of it looks insanely hard, so there might be some less chill things going on, but we're going to give it a go anyway. There's some really cool things in there. Lurking as always, and amazing layers. Thank you, Plu. I decided very last minute that I wanted to change it, like my chat and requests and stuff, and now they look like this, and it's still a bit of a mess, and there's still things I want to change, but we're going for a whole like sort of synthwave vibe at the moment, and it's cool. This is coffee and chill, so I do actually have coffee. Hang on a second. Oh yeah, baby. And I hope everyone has had a lovely week. We had a lot of streams this week, a lot of different kinds of streams and things, and if you are not already in the Discord, I would love it so much if you got in the Discord and told me what you thought about all the new things that we're trying, all the things that you like, but more specifically the things that you don't like. If there's things that you think aren't working or aren't really the vibe, let me know. You know, it's always worth knowing. Oh, we're on decaf coffee today. That's where we are. Okay, let me get my screen set up, and I'm gonna mute this mic. I'm just gonna do some piano practice. You might have heard me practicing the C major scale during that little opening, and it's because I realized the other day that there are so many scales I can do absolutely fine. Not that one, clearly. But the C major scale is all on the white notes. And so you... Basically, guys, I forgot how to play a C major scale properly. And as I was going through it and slowing it down more and more, I was just like, yeah, I've not been playing this right for years, so I need to fix that. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time on that first before I move on to some repertoire. But whatever you're doing at home, if you're working, if you're studying, if you're doing your own music practice, which, why would you listen to someone else doing music practice while you're doing music practice? I don't know. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'm still here, so let's do some practice. practicing the C major scale attracted a bot. Oh my goodness, everybody. How do I do this again? How do I do this? I do the thing, and then I'm just like, report? Is it report? No, I don't know how to do it. Do I block it? Block. I should do that. No, that's not it. I was supposed to ban them. Wait, how do I... Oh, wait. Oh, chat, help. I don't know how to do this. Mod? No, don't mod them. I'm not good at this. There's the ban button. I reported them already. I love that I'm so bad at this. I just made a bot and mod very briefly. My goodness, my goodness. Why did my teacher always make me play scales in contrary motion? A couple of different reasons. One, exam boards like the ABRSM require it as a skill. It's also a cool sound. Something like that. And certain ones are more complicated than others. So the C major is completely reflected because it's all on the white notes. So the hand motion is exactly the same, one side to the other. Whereas something like D flat, you have to think about it a little bit more. But the reasons are because if it's a thing that you can't do instantly, then it's almost certainly worth practicing. Is the long and short of it. There are some that are easier than others, like the chromatic ones on D or A flat, because again the motion is exactly the same one way or the other. I'm being messaged. Oh, I'm getting sent some very, very cute pictures. Oh. No. Everybody needs cute dog pictures in their life. Okay. I'm going to do a little bit more on the C major scale. What I'm trying to do with it, incidentally, if anyone is even remotely interested. So there's a, because it's all white notes, you could actually finger it in a bunch of different ways, including just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I hammer out the thumb on each one, you can hear that it sort of cycles through all the notes and then back. Whereas the way I'm trying to do it is to reset my thumb at every given scale, which means either going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm preferring 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, then 4. Which is great because on the way down I'm doing the same with the left. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 even, finishing on the 5. And then making sure going up with the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, so 5 then 3. And then over on 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And then just trying to make sure that that is matched by 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Should be able to do this much faster, but it's one of those things that, like, because I haven't practiced it in absolutely forever, I have lost the sort of intuitive ability to do it. So I'm having to like retrain that muscle memory. So I'm going to do that for a little bit longer. Okay, I'm bored of scales now. I've done a little bit today, and we'll come back to it another day. Definitely better than when I started, though. Okay. Alright, the first piece I'm going to have a go at today is the very first one in this piano opera book called Ami from Final Fantasy VIII. This one. It's a lovely little piece. I'm going to have a little bit of a sight read of it first, but like it does get a little hectic a little later on. So this isn't going to be like a sort of full sight read through. It's going to be a stop and starty sort of. I'm going to try a little bit, try and go back and forth sort of type thing. You're going to move because you're affecting my posture. Okay, here we go. hello, Troke. Nice to come by a relaxed and enjoyable stream like this. Yes, many of you expressed joy at sitting in on the rehearsal with Rosie the other day. Her master's recital went very well. If you didn't catch it live, there is a VOD. It's only an hour long. It kicks off about 15 minutes in. It was very good. It was very fun. We had a lot of fun time playing that music. But because of that, the Thursday mornings, because I am not getting a lot of practice in between all the other streams that I'm trying to do. So the Thursday morning streams have become practice streams. So you can request a request if you desperately want to. But otherwise, I'm going to sit here and do some practice, and you are welcome to vibe as much or as little as you like in the background. I'm going to get back to it. Hello, little L138. Hi all. Have this on in the background whilst reading my book on a break at work. That's lovely. I'm glad. I'm just doing some piano practice. I hope you're well. glad you're well, little Al. I'm good. I'm just doing some piano practice this morning, working on some of the piano opera repertoire from. Actually, don't know what it's from. It's from like various Final Fantasies. Looks like 7, 8, and 9 in particular. There's some really, really great pieces in here, and I'm just having a look at the very, very first one, Op 1, Ami, from Final Fantasy 8, I believe. I believe it's like a variation on Balam Garden or something. Actually, no, can't be. But it's really lovely. It's really challenging in a very, very unique way, and it's nice and chill. There's another piece I'm going to work on in a minute, which is decidedly less chill. But I'm going to wait till I'm going to do 6 more minutes on this, and then after the ad break, I'm going to move on to the next one. So let's try this one through. I'm going to hydrate as well. Okay. I hope you're all having a lovely, lovely day. Let's do it. a gorgeous piece. It's a really, really gorgeous piece. I'm going to really look forward to working on that properly. Right now, I'm just having a bit of a sight read and a fiddle through and just sort of smoothing some things out. But it's not too difficult. There's some really, really beautiful things going on in there and some shockingly challenging musical challenges in there. If you are not subscribed, we're about to have an ad break. We're going to have 3 minutes of ads, depending on your region. Don't worry, you're not going to miss anything. In fact, I'm going to take a bio break. So take a bio break, go get some water, go chill out for a second, have a break from whatever you're doing. If you're working, if you're just relaxing, that's cool too. And we'll see you when you get back. That ad break will start in about sort of 25 seconds or so. Those of you that are subscribed, I'll be right back. I'm going to have a quick bio break and sort of clear my head, ready to start on this next one. The next piece I'm going to be working on is a little more hectic than the last one. So you have been warned if you are relaxing. I'll see you in a second. Here we go. How are we doing, chat? Everyone just sort of lurking at home? Anybody want to tell me what they're up to while we're waiting for the ad break to finish? This next one's going to be a hectic one. Lurking at work. What should I eat for lunch? That depends, Paginator. Do you have food in the fridge that you need to use up, or is it a case of going out and finding stuff? Because knowing you, probably a salad. I know what you're like. You're not going to eat a salad, but, you know. I haven't had lunch yet. I have nothing, and I'm next to a big Tesco. Okay. I would say... do you feel like cooking, or do you not feel like cooking? Because I always feel like cooking. So when I'm like, oh, what should I eat for lunch? Oh, sod it. Let's make a bechamel base for a pasta bake or something. Like, I don't know, something stupid like that. Work kitchen. Okay. It's a nice sunny day, so... microwave or toasty maker. You could make toasties. You could get cheese and bread and ham and make toasty. Added bonus, whole grain mustard in there, or hot sauce if that is your penchant. Or you could get a load of picnic food and go sit in a park. I make toasties much more than is healthy. Okay, so no toasties. Maybe get some picnic food, get like healthier picnic food. So not just like a load of sausage rolls and pork pies and things, but like maybe get like a thing of olives if you like olives, or a mini like feta salad or something, and pair it with, I don't know, like those little chicken bites. But pork pies, you can have pork pies as well, just don't have only pork pies, right? You know, It's basic nutrition. Hello, Mamela. Welcome back from the ad break, everybody. This is, if you're just joining us, this is a practice stream. So I'm just doing some piano practice, just working through some pieces that I don't normally get to play and would not necessarily be able to sight read. We've been working on some very relaxing stuff so far. We're about to work on some less relaxing stuff. So yeah, if you are relaxing and vibing at home, I apologize. But we're going to start working on this one. This was a piece recommended to me by Robbie Key actually a while ago, which is how I discovered this whole sort of like. But if you're not already following Robbie, he is a cracking pianist. Like go follow him. Like he's so good. I need to charge my iPad too. I thought my iPad would survive an hour. It's not going to. Well, survive another hour at least. Okay. All right. You've been warned. Let's work on this. Well, that's one hand. I'm actually going to have to take my bracelets off for this because the amount of movement is going to be severely impacted by the sheer weight of all the jewellery that I'm wearing. As much as I am chagrined to take this one off because I really like it. Oh, this about time this one came off, I think. It's just a wrist. It's just one of those like club wristbands sort of type things from an event I went to. The bracelets are off, baby. a really interesting thing in this piece with these repeated notes, because you can just play repeated notes like thumb 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 bang, thumb 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 bang. What's the actual speed of this? 140. Entirely possible doing that, but I reckon you'll have better control going 3 1 3 bang, 3 1 3 bang, but then 3 2 1, because it wants you to hold that whilst doing 3 1 3 bang, 3 1 3 bang, 3 2 1, 3 1 3 bang, 3 2 1, 3 2 1, 3 1 3 bang, 3 1 3 bang. I guess you could also do 1 2 3. That doesn't feel as graceful. 3 1 3 bang, 3 1 3 bang, 3 2 1, 3 1 3 bang, 3 1 3 bang, 3 2 1. Yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it. Hello P1, how are you? How is everyone? Everyone's just chilling, vibing. We're doing a little practice stream today, so it's just I'm occasionally talking about what I'm doing, but mostly I am tackling some very, very difficult repertoire from the Piano Opera collection, which Robbie put me onto a couple of weeks ago. I've been meaning to have a look at. So this one's from Final Fantasy VII, and it's the boss music. It's this one. You got this. Yeah, it's really fun. It's really interesting, and I'm having a nice time working through it. So we're just, feel free to pop a look, feel free to vibe. If you want to chat, you can chat too. Like, do what you like. Always do. We've also remade the chat, so it looks like this now. And I don't hate it. I don't love it. I need to work on some things. Okay, here we go. Paginator has made it through the shop and at a picnic spot. What did you actually get in the end, Paginator? Let us know. Posted in the Discord. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a quick look. Did you just buy 6 pork pies for your lunch and nothing else? I am disappointed in you. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Paginator, I said what I said. I'm not mad at you. I'm just disappointed. Hey ho, we're on a practice stream today, so we're not doing requests unless you're willing to dump a sub or a whole bunch of channel points. But thanks for tuning in. Feel free to come and vibe. I'm tackling some of the piano opera stuff, which is like the sort of very intense piano remixes of a lot of Final Fantasy music, and we're working on the boss theme from Final Fantasy 7 at the moment. It's a lot. It's cool though. It's cool though. You aren't welcome to ask for requests. Like I said, it's just a sub or a bunch of channel points. This is not the normal request stream. But yeah, feel free to vibe. Feel free to hang out and tell us what you're up to. Miss Quinton says, listening in between two jobs. I hope everyone's having a good day. I'm having a great day, Miss Quinton. I hope you're having a good day. This is a very, very intense piece of music to be practicing, which is very fun. Hope says, I'm currently pulling my hair out as I'm unable to prove I'm a UK citizen, as mother has lost both my passport and my birth certificate. I need them to apply for the cybersecurity course and job. Maybe check your email, see if you ever sent a copy of your passport to someone, because they should be able to pull your passport number. Otherwise, you can pay money to get like a rush job passport sort of sent to you. Otherwise, driving license. I've checked. Oh gosh. Yeah, call the passport office, dude. If you call them now, you might get through before the end of the day. Is what I would say. Birth certificates. I don't think I've ever found or used mine. So anyway, back to this. They didn't accept driving license, and they're trying to charge me 120 quid for a new copy of birth and passport rush job. That might be your only option, dude. If your mum lost your passport, maybe you could ask her for the 120 quid. I don't know. Sell some Pokemon cards. Will you make that £120 back if you get the job? What's the risk/reward? I mean, Budget has got a point. You got to think long term here. Like, is the job worth the £120 application fee? And let's be real, you probably need a passport anyway, right? First time chat, hello, welcome. This is not the usual kind of stream, we're just doing a little practice stream today. And yes, this is from Final Fantasy VII. This is the boss theme. I think it's called something like Those Who Fight Further. And it's the piano opera arrangement of it, which was put onto me by another pianist, Robbie Key, who was absolutely wonderful. Hello, welcome. You're welcome to come, sit and vibe and things like that. If you are absolutely desperate for a request, like it's in the title and there's like a little message going back to see how you can do that. But today the priority is doing some practice. I love this one. I love this one too. And it's a really, really crazy arrangement. It is far beyond my ability to be able to play this. So we're having a first look at it today and just seeing how far we can get with it. And we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. But we've been at it for about 45 minutes now, and we're sort of like starting to piece together this arrangement a little bit. I'm trying to do so in a clean way, so I'm not just bashing at it. So I'm trying to get the fingering right from the word go as well, so it's nice and clean. Sounds pretty difficult, you guys. It is by far one of the hardest things. If I can afford it in channel points, but I don't want to be disruptive. I appreciate that partially. Thank you. There will be other streams where you can ask for requests. So like today is not like the main. I don't want to say what for future piano quests. There will be future piano quests as well. Yes, the piano quests will be returning. So do save your points for that kind of thing too. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to it. Yona, if you want to tell us what you're up to and who you are, where you're from, feel free. If you want to just vibe, you just vibe too. There's a bunch of commands down in the description below you can have a look at and have a play with too. Welcome, friend. Or for future key change madness, if those are still a thing, I don't even know. Almost concerned, the key changes are still a thing. I just set it so that if you wanted to chain a bunch of key changes together, you would need help from other people. So you couldn't just spam 24 key changes yourself. You had to get 23 other friends to do it with you. That's the only difference with the key changes. Although Human 2.0 is very, very unhappy about this. Oh well. Yona says, I was just practicing some piano too, but I am very much amateur who likes to try things that are too difficult for her. Yona, I completely appreciate that. That is very much what I am. And you're from Poland! Welcome! You might be my first viewer from Poland. Well, we have viewers from all over the world, as far west as like Indonesia, over in Australia, a bunch of guys from the States as well, all over Europe. It's lovely to have you here. Welcome. We will find a way to still make it madness. Little Miss Quinson, if you can get enough people together to chain together 24 key changes, I will be very impressed. I just spilt that down myself. getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. I know it's very loud and crashy and not very relaxing to listen to, but if you're still here and sticking with me, I really appreciate it, guys. We're about to hit another ad break. So if you're not subscribed, you're going to see up to 3 minutes of ads. You're not going to miss anything. I'm going to keep practicing that same 8 bars that I've just done. I'm going to continue through. Go buy a break, go stretch, go see some sunlight, go touch some grass, like do the things that you got to do, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Watching the ad supports the channel, and it means that new people don't have to watch ads when they first come in here, which is really, really lovely, and I really, really thank every single one of you that supports the channel in that way. It's very kind of you, and your time and attention are worth so, so much more than you realise. To those of you who do subscribe, you're going to be sticking with me through this break. I'm just going to be carrying on. And I also appreciate you all too, and all the support that you throw at this channel. You don't have to throw a single penny at this channel to enjoy it, but you do anyway, and I love you all for it. All right, ad break is starting very shortly. I'm going to carry on. Yoni, you're absolutely right. I should be taking breaks, and I normally would take a break around now. But what I'm actually going to do, because I'm not going to go hugely longer on this stream, maximum half an hour more, is I'm going to push through for that last half an hour, and then stop and go and have some lunch. But I appreciate you looking out for me. Thank you. It might not sound like it, but I am actually making incremental progress with this. I'm gonna have to watch back the VOD and see like what it was like when we started and what we're like an hour later, you know. I stretched. Thank you for the stretch, Paginator. Everybody stretch at home. Do it. Stretch. Good. Hello, Strawberry Kitty. Thank you very much for the raid. Lovely to see you. We're having a bit of a practice stream today. If you are absolutely dying for a request, you could go. Thank you very much for the raid, Bomb. Behave. No, guys, I appreciate it. We're not going to go for like much longer. We're doing a practice stream, so we're just doing a lot of like very, very difficult music very slowly. You're welcome to hang, you're welcome to vibe, you're welcome to raid and run, do what you like. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you again. I'm going to carry on. Unfortunately, he says back to work just as we are coming up to the 2.5 hour mark. I'm going to stop for the day. This is a very, very interesting piece of music. I'm going to have one last go at it, I think, of the section that we've done. Maybe I'll just sort of carry through to the end and have a little bit of a bash through and sort of see what it looks like. But we're going to round up soon. That's going to be a really fun piece once I've had a chance to actually look at it and not just bash my way through it like that. Those of you who stuck around to the end of the stream, what are you even doing here? What even was that? It's been a real pleasure, guys. Thank you for sitting in on this little practice session, giving me that little bit of extra pressure to like get some stuff done, as it were. We're going to go somewhere a little more relaxing, I think. Where are we going? Where are we going? Rare Instruments Raid Train. Sod it, why not? This sounds fun. Okay. You know the drill, guys. There is #vibing. I don't imagine many of you are particularly active right now, but here is the raid message. We're going to go raid Hibana Sound. They're doing a Rare Instruments raid train. So, sure, why not? That sounds fun. Good night, Blue Sonic. Remember, guys, if you take part in the raid, you will get channel points. And channel points can be used to abuse me. But yes, this person looks really fun. It looks like they're holding a mandolin at the moment. I think I see a Chinese harp. I see a whole bunch of stuff in the background as well. This looks really fun. So thank you very much for a wonderful stream, everybody. Thank you for sticking around while I do some practice. This is what Thursday morning streams are now. Well, Thursday afternoon, I guess, because I don't do mornings. Channel points means channel prizes. Yes, exactly. So, yeah, I will see you all soon. Thank you so much. Have a lovely, beautiful, wonderful day, you lovely, beautiful, wonderful people. Mwah. Bye. Bye. You're not still here, are you? Oh no, don't still be here. Oh dear, it's gonna be fine.